about um the show, and this is the show. Sorry for that. I'm trying to check some things. Okay. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments, and I can see the comments. So that's it. So let's get started right now. Okay. So we have five podcast quotes. We usually um recite the quotes so our guests can relax. Okay, before we start the show. Before we start fully. So let's get started right now. Number one we have is Charles Catherine said, "No one would have crossed the ocean if he could have gotten off the ship in the storm." Number two, Sidney Harris said, "When I hear that somebody say life is hard, I am always tempted to ask, compared to what?" Number three, Mike Murdoch says, "If God cushioned your every blow, you would never learn to grow." Four, an Irish proverb said, "No matter how tall your grandfather was, you've got to do your own growing." Five, remember, in the eyes of average people, average is always considered outstanding. So, and this is the show right now. He's going to talk to us. The guest we have today is Mr. Christian Shidozokoro. He's going to talk to us about how Nigerians, okay, the average Nigerian can get wealthy. Okay, we are still going to talk about your country wherever you are. But we'll talk about everybody, okay? Let's focus on Nigerians, considering the environment we have over here. How can the average Nigerian citizen get wealthy? Okay, we're gonna spread. I want to broaden the topic. We're still gonna talk about everyone. So just stay connected. It's gonna benefit you. So right now, Mr. Christian, can you walk us through the steps of great achievements? Because when you talk about getting wealthy, people need to understand that something must make you rich, and that thing could be a product, could be a company. Those things are great achievements. So if one does not know the steps of great achievements, such individual would never attain great heights, would never be rich. So can you walk us through the steps of great achievements? That's the first question.
Okay, thank you very much. I greet you. Good afternoon for having me back in your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the steps for great achievements. Like, the first step is to conceive. Like, to conceive. First of all, have something in mind. Conceive a goal that, hey, I want to achieve this. Because they're saying that whatever can be conceived in the mind can be achieved. So once a person conceives a goal, that goal becomes a vision. Yeah, and when a person has a vision, something is driving the person. That's the vision. So conception of goals is a first step. Then the goal, the dream you conceive creates a vision. Now that vision gives you purpose to live.
Okay.
Yeah, gives you purpose. Then you start living, pursuing that purpose to achieve it. And whatever you pursue with all your mind, you will certainly achieve. So that's the most important step. As we proceed, I will talk about how to focus on that purpose. Because when you focus on purpose and work towards it, that you achieve and achieve greatly in life. So as we proceed in the talk, we talk about how to focus on the purpose. Yeah, thank you for
Okay.
now.
Okay. That's brilliant. You talked about life being meaningless. Okay, that vision and purpose give you this meaning, give meaning to your life, and that helps you stay healthy. That helps you stay alive. That makes you want to breathe. There's some people that just want to die. They like to die. Okay, they like to die. For me, I would say I don't want to die. Okay, so like you have to tell us more about that. If cause just imagine that someone is watching right now and the person feels life is meaningless. Because to me, I feel a person abuses drugs because somehow to some level he feels life is meaningless. Because if you really cared about be doing that thing, you wouldn't be taking those drugs. You don't care about your life because you feel life is meaninless to some extent. Okay, so can you tell us right now how can one actually bring meaning to his life? Let's go in details. Is it just by dreaming alone, or other things are habit?
No, yeah, first of all, thank you. Everybody has to know that there is something unique about each individual. Like there is something special, there is something the world is seeking for that is in every individual. So anybody who feels that his life or her life is meaningless should calm down and try to discover that unique thing in him or her. In him or her. Yeah. If the person now discovers that thing, the person will now try to figure out or question how can this unique feature in me be helpful to the world? How can this help the world? How can it change the world? Then when the person figures out that becomes his discovered purpose in life. Then it's now for the person to start to live in that direction. To start living in that direction. Like each of us has our unique potentialities. There are things that are uniquely ours. It is in everybody. It's embedded in everybody. So that is what people should, think about and try to deviate from depression or feeling inadequate. Yeah, because all of us we are blessed actually.
Okay.
Just to discover that purpose. Yeah.
Okay. So you said we should discover the purpose, right? The purpose. So right now, what if, because many people over here in our country, Nigeria, people always say that everyone is born for a purpose, everyone is born for a purpose, unique purpose here and there. Now, what if a person right now who is down thinks, hey, like those are just theories, are just probably hypotheses, and I don't. What if the person says I don't believe them? So how is such individual arose himself for great achievement?
Okay, the thing is that most people talk about you are born with a purpose,
Yeah.
but they don't clearly define what that purpose means. Like people don't understand what purpose means. Yeah. Now there's a way I see purpose.
Okay.
Purpose can be number one, like the intrinsic meaning, like what it means actually, a
Yeah.
unique potentiality. It can mean like what the person is passionate about. Yeah, that can be purpose. Somebody can find purpose in what he loves doing. That's one way, but that's not the only way to discover purpose. A person can still find purpose by trying to look in his immediate environment and surrounding to see if there's any gap that needs to be filled. That can be a person's purpose. It's not compulsory that the person has passion or has talent for a particular thing. For example, when a person, let's assume, a person finds himself or herself in an environment where there's no school at all, there's no school, and the person is poor at that point in time, or he has nothing doing, but there's no school, and there are buildings that have children. At that point, the person may think, hey, what if I organize a and have extramural classes? What if I organize that? Even though that person is not a born teacher, that at that particular point in time has become his or her purpose.
Okay.
The person can be also in a surrounding where there are no shops where groceries, stuff are sold, and there is no shop, in the vicinity. The person may not be a trader by profession or by training, but with a mind, it can be like, okay, if I open this shop and sell groceries, people can come here and buy. At that point, that can be a purpose, it's fulfilling. A person can be in a place where there are no salon for haircuts, proper shop and all that. No salon for haircuts. And there are people around that want to have a haircut. If a person takes a step further and have a shop where he can fill that gap, he can satisfy people's need, he can create value, people can pay him for value he's rendering, he's creating. That's at that point in time, it's a purpose. So people talk about that as how can I know my purpose? Because they have not really understood what purpose means. It's not compulsorily a talent or a passion or how we see it, it's not that way.
Wow, that's brilliant. That's well differentiated. Okay, I believe anyone watching right now is well differentiated and integrated. Like you should now understand what purpose is right now. And like there's a movie that we watch and I really love what they teach in the movies. Philippine movies. This one, since I found you, he said there's a guy called Nathan. He says he was actually a street guy who actually got rich. So he said to create to build a house for street kids so that they can grow or so that they can have a home to stay so that until they grow to the stage where they can now start fending for themselves. That does two things. Number one, that agrees to the fact that children will not just start becoming independent overnight. Okay, it agrees to the fact that they need time to grow to be able to fend for themselves. So it says that home right now would be where they would kind of stay, have shelter at night, so they can grow to the stage where they can fend for themselves. They leave the place. So that is a whole lot from that film, from that movie. So that tallies with just what you just said. And having purpose does not mean you need to have a talent, you need to have passion for particular thing. It could be to create solution or value, okay? It could be to solve a particular problem in the environment, etc. So that is it right now. So that was a good one. So right now, so we're going over right now to you said the great steps we have to conceive the dream, conceive a vision first. Then that vision is going to drive you, it's going to create spark in you. They say that is the first step, that's the most important step to great achievements. Okay, so right now, can I ask you, how can I grow daily, considering the nature of our environment? You take Nigeria as an example first, considering our environment in Nigeria, the way of life. How can one grow daily? Because over here it's hard to grow daily, considering you look at this person, there's no good example coming from that person. You look at this person, there's no good example coming from that person. How will it then grow? Okay, considering our environment, and also how will others in other places watching from other places, how will they grow? Considering the basic hindrance they also encounter. So that is the question for you.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Like, it all boils down to what are you doing to create value? What are you doing to create value? Because how to grow, let's say you want to grow financially, people can only pay you, money can only come to you if there is something you are offering people, you are offering to people. That's value creation. That's the way to grow now financially. That's for the financial part of it. So, what value are you creating? What are you doing to help somebody? Because somebody can only pay you for receiving a good or service from you. So, what goods are you selling? What service are you rendering? When you render a service, when you sell products, sell goods, you grow financially. That's how to grow financially. Then, how do you grow mentally or personally now, like personal growth? How do you grow personally, mentally? You grow also by adding the value to yourself. Yeah, if it is mentally, you read books, you have self-development, you develop yourself mentally, you grow individually. You learn skills, acquire skills. When you acquire skills, you are adding value to yourself. And those values you add to yourself also help you to create value to the world, for the immediate society. So I have talked about how to grow financially by rendering services, selling products, discovering what to do and do it. That's how to grow financially. How to grow personally and mentally is by self-development and by adding value to yourself. Then we have other growths. If you want to grow like in height, you eat protein, you eat this, you eat egg, you eat like you add to yourself to grow. Yeah, that's it. As you add to yourself, you grow. So when you add protein, you add beans to yourself, you grow. If you want to grow spiritually, you add God's words, prayers, and all that. So growth is all about adding to yourself.
Okay.
Addition to yourself. Once you add to yourself, you grow. Yeah, that's how anybody in any climb, any part of the world, is just think of value. One, value that you create for others and values that you add to yourself. These two things can help you to have growth in all respects.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was beautifully said. Okay, I really enjoyed that. Okay, it's really like I told someone, I said like there's some information you get right now that are just lights. Okay, you just once you get them imbibed into you, it just acts like light to you. So this is one of them. Okay, so right now let's talk about the detailed steps. Right now, what is that? What are those sets of steps that you have actually arranged for us today? Okay, for the person watching, the average Nigerian citizen, and also citizens from other parts of the world, other countries. What is that safe step that people can take? For instance, now we're trying to solve a problem right now. You are going to help us solve this problem. People say, "Hey, you want to be rich here and there. You have to just calm your mind down, do this and that." To me, that is not really detailed enough. Let's go in depth right now. How can a Nigerian person or any person in any part of the world get wealthy? What are the steps? Should they go to school? After school, you do this for some time. What is the amount of money the person should will earn for doing a particular thing that you recommend? And what should that person do with that amount of money? And what will come out from that thing, from that action? So how will the person really build wealth? I want a detailed step. The
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Like, what a person can do to be wealthy, to be rich
yeah,
in Nigeria. The first thing first is, I call it desire, strong desire in your heart that you want to be rich. Like this, it is that the person first of all has to be uncomfortable with poverty.
oh my God.
Like, you feel bad about being poor. You want to end a life of poverty and mediocrity. Desire is the first thing. Once you start feeling uncomfortable, about your situation, it will make you to shift, to start doing those things that will push you towards what you desire, like that riches, that
Yeah,
wealth that you're looking for. Then after you've had this desire, I talked about discovering something that's different. But in this sense now, let me say it in this way. After you've had a desire, then get a source of income. Get a source of income. Because being rich does not happen magically. It's not by chance. No. It happens by design. You design, you say that, hey, I want to be rich. Then you must get a particular source of income. Something you are sure that with this, I can be getting money. It can be a job where you are being paid. Where you are being paid. It can be trade where you buy things and sell. You understand?
yeah,
So, source of income is very, very important. Yeah. As you now get this source of income, try to be developed in that particular field you have discovered. If it's a job, try to give it your best shot. Try to always give it your best shot so that you get paid for it. But that's not enough. If it's also like trade, where you trade, try to do it in a very, very good way. But that's not enough again. Now, the other part of it is like, once you have a source of income, you think of investment. As you make money from what do, whether a job, think of using it to you know diversify, get other things that give you money, like have multiple streams of income. In this case now, we call it your money working for you. When a person can put his money somewhere where his money generates money. Today we have like threads people can get into. Like we know of the cryptocurrency.
yeah.
Like if you go to the ICT space,
Mm.
cryptocurrency, people get their money from their normal work. You must have a job. That's where going to school come to play. But you must not go to school to be rich. But once you have a job and you get the money, you can get the money, invest in that crypto. That also demands learning, because you can't just go into it if you have not learned about it. So people have to also go through learn crypto. Some are into forex. Forex is an online business. As they get their money, their profit, they don't spend it. They invest that profit that they make, still having their own job somewhere. This trying to diversify. They have their job somewhere. So as they invest that one also makes profits for them. What they now spend is now the profits that they make from that, investment they made with their initial profits. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is source of income, being true to it, being serious about it, and investing your profits in other things to make money. They are proven steps. They are proven steps, I'll tell you, are ways to be rich. At least they have worked for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I can say for now.
Okay. So that's brilliant. You said get into the stuff. Yeah. And they okay. Your explanation is pretty detailed. What if I don't like anything investment and I still want to be rich as a citizen? What do I do?
Okay, if you don't like anything investments, you still want to be rich. Yeah, it's fine. You must not invest. But what you must do is that you must have a job. You must have a source of income, a trade, a job. You can't just pay your house and say that you want to be rich. Become rich. It doesn't work that way. It's in a rich. Hello?
Yeah, go on, go on.
Okay. Rich. Hello?
Okay, okay. Like I said, if someone does not like investment, and you give partial answer to that, that the person should get a job, yeah, and okay. Now, what if to himself, I want to live life to the fullest. I want to enjoy life to the peak level. And the truth being said is, if you want to enjoy life to the peak level, you must be financially free and the rest of them. So, what if a person is saying, "Hey, I want to be rich and I want to be financially free and I want to enjoy life to the peak level and I just want to do all these things without stress," because the truth is, rich people don't really work hard. Rich dad poor dad affirms that greatly. The truth is this: if it is by working hard, then go get a job, and if you are paid 50,000 naira, just try and work. Calculate the number of years it will take to for you to have 5 million naira from that job. The truth is, rich people don't really work hard. You have to be smart. So right now, what if I want to make money without like stress? I just want this stuff to go well for me. Because the truth is, the purpose of life, the purpose of God, God's will is for us to have our own thoughts realized, for us to have what we want, our wishes and desires. And deep down, there's no one comfortable working 11 hours for somebody. Like, there's no one who's comfortable doing that. So, right now, like, what would I say to such individuals right now who are just saying, hey, give me ways to make money, give me ways that I can be rich without stressing myself? I want to evolve. I want a situation whereby we create the Garden of Eden in this real life, where you don't have to stress yourself before you get food to eat, etc. So, what if someone is saying something like that to you? What will be your response?
Yeah, like it's possible to live that kind of life, to get money without stress. Yeah, it's possible. I would say yes, that yeah, you can do it, but you may not be counted as the richest person, like those who are really successful in life. It's possible, yeah, because to get the money, people don't have to work hard. You have to work smart. Once you are smart, because if it's by working hard, like I hear that those who do hard work, like those who push wheelbarrows, those who push trucks, will be the richest, yeah. But today, people who are rich, they work smart, but you still have to work. Like you still have to work. Now there are fields where you can tap into, you can get into to work smart and still cash out and still make your money. Like the ICT field. Today, the world richest men are those who are into tech, into ICT. They're the ones who are, cashing out $1 million. We have people who are like Elon Musk today. We have Jeff Bezos of Amazon. We have Mark Zuckerberg of that has Facebook and all that. These are people who work smart. Yeah, it's possible, but I will still advise the person that whatever you are doing, still have in mind to create multiple streams of income. As you are doing this one, still invest in another soft work, another soft skill that will still pay. Yeah, because these men I called now, Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they don't just do one thing. They have different things they do. They still invest their money. They are shareholders in some multinational companies. They buy things that pump in the money. It's not just one thing. So it's possible to work smart, live a stress-free life, and still be rich. Yes, but then you still have to work.
Okay.
You have to work. A person can't make the money without working here.
Okay, that's brilliant. Now, how do I love the game? For me, I love anything in company, shares, those things. I really love them from my core. Now, what about other people who seem not to like love the art of money getting? Okay, what would you say to them? Should they read books, or what information you have to give to them?
Yeah, they should read books. And yeah, because like I said earlier, that everything depends on values you add to yourself. They should add more values to themselves. Like read books, acquire skills, try to get developed in whatever they are doing right now. Yeah. Once they add the ideas to themselves, they will live, an easy life, and they will be more successful in their endeavor.
Okay, so what are some of the books you advise them to read? For me, I would advise anyone watching, go read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. That's a badass financial book. Okay, there's a particular part of it that I love so much that you will find there. So the latest form of laziness is laziness by being busy. You see it's clearly stated there. It was analyzed, and wherever you are, you'll be able to see that form of laziness in many people. People just want to be busy. They just want to be busy. They just want to be busy. So that's what it says. The latest form of laziness is laziness by being busy. From that book, to check it very well. Read the last part of that book. You see there. Another book I recommend for me personally is the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It tells you how you have been programmed. For the first 7 years of life, everyone was programmed because your conscious brain was not yet developed for the first 7 years of life. So life had to teach you how to live life for the first 7 years of life before your conscious part of your brain starts to develop. So that's something that happens to everyone. So someone once said, they said the reason why success is delayed in many people, he said, is because people have spend time to unlearn what they have learned for the first 7 years and more. People have to spend time to unlearn all those toxic things they've learned about money, about life, etc. Or subconsciously, they have to unlearn all these things, and it takes time. So that person says, so that's the reason why there is delay when we talk about success. So, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And another one I recommend by Dr. Wallace D. Waters, tells you how you can actually get rich, the actual process. That you have to give more in value than the cash reward you get from people. That will help people, that will cause people to always choose you or prefer you over others in your feed. So those are the three main books I recommend. Okay, then for me, the science of being great by Dr. Wallace D. Waters. The Science of Being Great. It's a very powerful book, like crazy. If you read that book, if you want to get rich, that's the first book you have to read, because you have to unlearn many things you've learned first. That's the first step, unlearning of all those many things. You have to unlearn them first. So yeah, that book is the foundation. It's the foundation. So right now, what are some of your recommendations? We need books, okay, you have read and you would recommend to people. Let's get started.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Like you gave three. I mean, I have three too. Three books
Okay.
I've read. Yeah, that's actually changed my mentality about riches and acquiring money.
Okay.
Like these books are like after I read them, I was like, wow, like I got values from the books. So
Okay.
the first one is The Richest Man in I
That's
don't know if you have
true.
seen that book.
I forgot to mention it.
Yeah,
I'd read that
man,
Akkad.
that book, yeah,
Yeah.
that book is very, 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 very rich. Actually, the book is very rich.
Yes, very
The
rich.
book gives you
Detailed step.
detailed steps
Yes, to
on
take.
how to manage your money.
Yes.
You
How to
know,
grow
how
your
to
money.
save. Even
Yeah.
as we proceed in this our discussion, I'll talk about financial management.
Okay.
It's a very important aspect of being rich. So
Okay.
I got some of that information from that book. You know, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very, very good book. Then the other book, again, this one sounds two purposes actually. This one I want to say now, by Brian Tracy. It will guide you, you know, towards your path of getting rich. Number one. Also, it's a book for mental growth, and it will develop you mentally too. No excuse. That's the name. No excuse. That one, like, it's like 3 in 1. That book, like, it will guide you towards getting rich. It will guide you towards life and relationship with other people. That's for that one. Then again, the other one that has been in my phone for like 5 years. Like, that one is Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, yes, that's
Think and Grow
true.
Rich.
Okay.
Yeah. So these 3 books are 3 powerful books I would recommend for anybody who wants to be rich, anybody who wants to make it big in any endeavor, any field. The Richest Man in Babylon, No Excuse, and Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. Study The Richest Man in Babylon. That is so powerful. It teaches about investment. You don't invest in something you don't know
Yes.
about, don't know anything about. You see somebody just comes to you and he just says you want to invest, you give the person your money. No, you have to get an expert in the field. Not just an expert in the field, because over here in our country we have this problem of poor values in that's just the simple truth. You may see a person who is expert in Nigeria, but you may find it hard to trust the person. You may find it hard to trust the person. So that is a problem. So you have to read this book, especially if you are in this country, Nigeria. The Richest Man in Babylon. You have to educate yourself about anything you put your money into. An investment is not try your luck. It should be something that hey, will definitely yield something in return. That's what the Richest Man in Babylon states. If you have read that book, it should be something that should bring something in return, that surely will bring something in return. That is it. Many people have to understand it. Think and Grow Rich is a very powerful book for mental, like, these are books you start with. Think and Grow Rich, start with it, then The Science of Being Great, then you go over to that, then before The Secrets of Millionaire Mind, then Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, and then this No Excuse. Like this, the stepping stone to greatness is your knowledge. You have to read, because you have to unlearn many things. It's a simple freaking truth. Wherever you are, you have to unlearn many things you've been taught. But you have to do that by. So that is it right now. So this is all we have for this first segment. We are going to go over to the next segment, which is not going to stream live. The video will be available after 48 hours. Also, so we're going to talk about, in the second segment, we shall be discussing how the average citizen can achieve anything he or she wants. Okay, for the aspect of financial management, which we talked about, we will discuss it in another show, which we stream live. That is my promise. Okay, we will discuss it in another show, which we stream live. Financial management, because you have to learn how to manage your money for you to actually get rich. Someone says poverty is not a death sentence; it is just a state of having no money. Some people even say poverty is scarcity mindset. That is what poverty is. Then riches simply means abundance mindset. So all this knowledge, all this information that you get tends to equip you. Okay, it tends to make you so powerful. That's why they say the first step, you have to get knowledge. You have to unlearn many things that you have learned, many things that you have been taught. And the best way to do that so far is to read books. Because so far, people always say that the best place to keep secrets is in books. So there are a ton of secrets that are kept in books. That's why people always recommend, hey, go read this book, go read this book. Like, we have a great deal of wisdom, okay, available to us by people who have lived, Okay, they put those secrets in books. So you will be a folly if you don't read books. The first step to wealth creation, you got to read. This is the steps we're giving you. You got to read. You got to read. So this is all we have for the first segment of this show. We're going over right now to the second segment, which will not stream live. But I promise that in the next show we are going to be having, we will talk about financial management. So all you need to do is just stay subscribed to this channel, because that one is going to kick off. It's going to kick off very, very soon. Financial management is what we shall talk about in the next podcast. So for now, we have to call it quits. So stay connected. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.